David here, and welcome back to another Buzzfeed test. Now, as most of you already know, this show primarily works off of your suggestions. With that being said, 95% of your suggestions are either cakes, pastries, or something pizza related. And lately I've been seeing a ton of you getting really frustrated by that fact, and believe me, I'm just as sick of some of these recipes as you guys are. So finally, this week we have somewhat of an entree. Suggested by all of these people, this week's recipe is going to be the creamy chicken penne pasta. I could be wrong now, but I'm pretty certain that this is the first pasta dish that I've tried. And that could be good or bad. So let's see how we do. Now guys, before we do anything else, a big ingredient in this recipe is Italian seasoning. And 50% because I hate store-bought Italian seasoning, and 50% because I don't have it in the first place, we're gonna make some fresh stuff. So I combined some basil, some oregano, some marjoram, some thyme, some red pepper flakes, some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, all that good stuff. And there is your homemade Italian seasoning. So let's get to the main ingredients that we're gonna need to make this pasta dish. You're gonna need to grab yourself, of course, some penne pasta, some bacon, some chicken breasts, salt and pepper, your homemade Italian seasoning, some paprika, some garlic cloves, some fresh spinach leaves, some smaller red tomatoes, heavy cream, some fresh Parmesan cheese, and some red pepper flakes. So before we get to this delicious looking pasta dish, there is quite a bit of prep work that we have to do. And I decided by starting with our block of Parmesan cheese. I carefully grated that up about a cup to a cup and a half without slicing off the tip of your finger. Throw that in a little cup and we can put that to the side. The next thing I did was grabbed this nice ripened tomato and diced that up into about 1/4 inch cubes, but it doesn't really have to be perfect, so don't sweat it. Then I grabbed myself a pot of boiling water and boiled off about 10 ounces of your penne pasta. For those of you who do not know, most boxes of pasta are about a pound, so 10 ounces is about 2/3 of your box. And finally, we can grab our chicken breasts and slice up 1 or 2 into nice fine strips, and that is all looking good. Finally, we can start cooking this up. So grab a nice wide pan and throw down a few strips of bacon. The recipe calls for 4, but why not throw 5 is my motto. Get those all nice and crispy on both sides, and then remove it and try to strain off some of that grease. Now right in that same pan, you're gonna throw down your sliced up chicken breast and... try not to have a grease fire. Anyways, once I got that all under control, I threw in some salt and pepper, my homemade Italian seasoning, and some paprika. Then add about 2 cloves of minced garlic, 2 cups of spinach leaves, and then let that cook down until it's all wilted. Follow that up with your diced up tomatoes. Give that another couple minutes to cook down, and 1.5 cups of your cream. That is going to be the base of this creamy sauce. Finish it off with your cup of shredded Parmesan cheese and some red pepper flakes. And after that simmers down for a couple minutes, your sauce is pretty much done. I finished that up with my pasta and the now crushed bacon strips, and not too shabby. Throw a tad bit more of shredded Parmesan and let's give this a try. So before I even taste this, I do have to commend them for doing an Alfredo style pasta without any other fats. Usually Alfredo sauces have a ton of butter or oil, but this just only really has the bacon, so that is an automatic plus. With that being said, yes, I'm eating pasta with a spoon, by the way. Alright, so a couple of things here. Number one, this was probably my fault. The pasta was a tad overcooked. Not like super mushy, but for this recipe you want it to be on the al dente side, and it's a little past being like cooked normally, if that makes sense. Number two, I mentioned this before, the pasta to everything else ratio could go, you know, a little less pasta, a little more chicken, spinach, tomatoes. With that being said though, the taste is there. Every single bite, whether it's straight up just pasta or a piece of chicken, is like really, really flavorful. Everything's well seasoned, not dry at all, so I have to give it an 8.5. If there was a little less pasta, a little more chicken and sauce, it probably would have got up to almost a 10 though, so a really good job. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's recipe. If you did, smash a like on this one for me. Can we try to hit 7,000 likes in 4 days? If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right underneath this video and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and leave more suggestions for recipes that I have not yet tried down in the comments. I hope you have an absolutely awesome rest of your week, and I'll see you right back here next Thursday. Peace! So I combined some basil, some oregano, some marjoram, marjoram.